Okay, so for question number 8, they're asking us to find the average value of a function over an interval. And the way that I do this is probably going to be different from the way that Dr. Vaughn did it in class. I'm not sure, but for me, it's easier to do it this way. Okay, they're giving you an interval, so you're going to set up your integral over this interval. So in my case, they gave me the interval from 1 to 8, and the function that they gave me was 10 minus x. So I want that integral. They want the average value. So once I've found this integral, I'm going to have to do something to it. But in the meantime, let's just find this integral, okay? So that's going to be 10x minus x squared over 2 from 1 to 8, okay? So that equals 10 times 8 minus 8 squared over 2 minus 10 times 1 minus 1 squared over 2, okay? And I can start simplifying that. My 10 times 8 gives me 80. I get 64 here. 8 squared is 64 divided by 2 is going to give me a 32. Minus, I've got 10 and a 1/2 here, and then I can keep simplifying. I've got, 80 minus 32 is going to give me 48 minus 10 plus 1/2. I distributed this. That gives me 38 plus 1/2. Let's get this all in terms of halves here. So that's going to be 76 over 2 plus 1/2, which equals 77 over 2. Okay, so I've just found that integral, but they want the average value of the function over that interval. So this interval from 1 to 8. And the way that I think about that is that I'm doing this from 1 to 8. That means I'm doing this over 7 spaces. I'm doing this over 7 increments of 1. That the distance that I'm looking at of this graph is between x equals 1 and x equals 8. So if I want the average of 7 things, I need to divide by 7. And the way that you find what you need to do here is whatever your answer is down here. So in this case, we've got 77 times 2. To get the average value, I need to multiply that by 1 over this number minus this number. So 1 over 8 minus 1. Okay, that's going to give me the average. So if you don't remember why we're doing it, finding that average over that interval, just remember that whatever you come up with for your answer, before you're 100% done, you need to multiply by 1 over the big number minus the little number, okay? And so now we just do some more arithmetic. That's 77 halves times 1 over 7. My 7s, I can kind of do some cancellation here. 77 divided by 7 is going to give me 11 halves, and because I did that cancellation, the 7 goes away. Write that up there so that you can see it. Times 1 is just 11 halves. If you didn't want to do the fraction, you could do 5.5. But that's where that comes from. So for these, I think the way you were taught is to find this fraction here first, but then I get kind of nervous because I have a fraction hanging around every step of the way. For me, it's a lot easier to just find that integral, and then once I found the integral, in this case it was 77 over 2, multiply it times this fraction that I get by putting 1 over the difference of these two numbers. Okay? So that's my method. If you want to find that fraction first, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure that you carry it along every step of the way and use that in your calculations. Like I said, for me, it's easier to find the integral and then multiply times that fraction. So, and the way you're going to know that you have to use that fraction is that it's going to say in the question, find the average value of the function over an interval. So if it's asking for the average value of a function, take the integral, but then you're going to have to multiply it by that fraction. Okay? So that was number 8. I'm probably going to do, I think there are another couple of these. I will do both of them so that you have a chance to see that in action again.